Scorpio, this is a dangerous time. It's dangerous because your very, 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 very worst enemy is rearing its ugly head. And of course, when I'm talking about your worst enemy, I'm talking about yourself. And that is not an exclusively Scorpio trait. That is an exclusively human trait. And you are human. And that is a little bit of, even early on in the reading, a part of this reading that I want you to be able to just sort of exhale. I am human. I am not perfect. Despite all the things that I force myself to try to live up to, or the expectations that I have that might be insurmountable, I take one breath at a time like everybody else, and I'm good. And the reason why I want to start out with how dangerous this time is for you is because it's a very beautiful time. And there's so much that could come out of it that's absolutely extraordinary. The reason why it's so dangerous is it feels the stakes are so high because there's so much expectations around what is supposed to be happening now, which is, well, immediate change and things immediately getting better and everything realigning and things making sense. And that's just not the case. The beginning is certainly not the ending. But a lot of times when we walk through that portal, we think, oh, yeah, awesome. I walked through the portal. Everything's different. But the truth is, we're still, even though we've walked through the portal, we're still a lot closer to the old self or the old life than we are to the new life, to the really getting into the thick of the new life, right? And this is a very dangerous time because of the scorpionic reactions to things are not subtle. They are extremely passionate and final. Life, death, yes, no. Scorpios, the biggest challenge of being scorpionic, so Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, wherever it falls in your chart, there is a tendency toward extremes. And that is what makes Scorpios both charismatic and uncontrollably have like an uncontrollable gravity to your character. But from inside, it is also what causes a lot of implosions and a lot of sadness that doesn't need to be suffered, a lot of opportunities that don't need to be lost are lost and suffered because of the assumption that it's not as good as it should be right now. I'm going to let you know right now, it's not as good as it should be, and it's not going to be as good as it should be for a while. And patience is very difficult, especially when you've been waiting so long for things to change and get better. But the wonderful thing is the resources and the stage is now set. It is not untrue that everything has clicked into place to start going correct. But there is a tendency toward that last wave coming to sort of like, I'm never going to get this. I'm never going to get there. It's never going to happen. There is apparently a great loss of, at the very least, something that was certain in your life. And that certainty has been shaken or obliterated. And either way, it's disrupted your life because change is so difficult, and more pointedly, not being able to control things is impossibly difficult for a Scorpio. And when things happen, it's anger, right? It's anger first of things being thrown out of hand without you even being able to do anything about it. Because it's not, with Scorpionic control isn't so much about did you ask my permission, as it is, but did you take me into consideration, right? That's really what it is. And you know, the truth about life that you guys experience over and over again is that lots of times you don't get taken into consideration. So what do you do with that reality and that truth? Do you let it decimate you or ruin you, or do you allow it somehow to make you curious? Okay, if this had to go so quickly and so abruptly that you're willing to shake my life up for it, what is so wonderful on the other side? And that curiosity is really almost like your lifesaver right now, because there is a wonderful development happening in your life. But unfortunately, there could be some self-destruction toward it because of overreactions to things that are coming out because of your emotional reaction to having something taken from you, or having your life so hard right now, or struggling so much that when something simple and like almost basic, but yeah, like simple and good and almost like just gentle comes into your life, there's that sense of reaching for it as if in some ways it's a lifeline, when it really wasn't a lifeline. It was just a butterfly to give you some inspiration. And the inspiration is the lifeline. But it's like, okay, give me more of that. Give me more of that. Give me more of that. But that's not really moving away from what's hurting you, which is excess and extreme and even pain and suffering. That's just something that you're putting behind you. So what I'm saying is right now, this is a very precocious time when your behaviors could very well be hurting you. And you will not be losing ground, but they could be making a massacre of the ground that you're standing on right now, simply because you're still reacting as if you were in that war zone. So I guess what I'm saying is there is just some major PTSD happening here. Major. The wonderful part about this situation is that in reality, you are safe. You are not in that war zone anymore, Scorpio. You are not. You have walked through the portal. It has happened. And now there's a cosmic portal that you've walked through. But emotionally, you may still be stuck on the other side in that war zone. So it's the tricky part of, how do I get my emotions to come through with me, right? Well, that's a lot more difficult, isn't it? Compassion for yourself, for who you are, for what you've gone through. Do you really deserve to suffer anymore? So at least make it so you are not the cause of any more of your suffering. And the way that changes your life when you get on your own side and say, but I deserve the sunshine on my face. And I deserve this warm feeling around me. And I deserve the lack of chaos for a second. I deserve this. I can be okay with this. I don't have to attach myself to the old image of me that says I have to be in the midst of something that's constantly dramatic and constantly destructive. I have a right to the eye of the storm. I have a right to peace. I have a right to love, and I have a right to happiness. And this is essentially having enough compassion for yourself to cut out anything that is going to harm you or deconstruct you to the point where you start to self-hate and self-sabotage. See, the way forward on this path is not something that you can think about. It's something that you have to feel. And that's the challenge here. The challenge is your feelings are so skewed. In so many ways, they're the most scared, damaged part of you. And so taking one step at a time, I know we talk about that a lot, but finding a new place for your pain, I think that's more accurate. Finding a new place and purpose for the suffering that you still feel in your heart. One that will inspire you and in some ways begin the healing process for you. I know that you're trying to put a good face on right now because that's what you think you have to do, because guess what? My life is actually pretty wonderful except for this pretty horrible thing that happened. You do not have to do that. You do have a right to crumble and let it all out. And I think that that's the difference, is to not pretend and not fight and not think that I'm going to put my best foot forward. And this is a like a double energy, right? This is putting your best foot forward, moving forward, getting out there and, believing in the best of things, even through the worst of things, right? But ultimately, this is also a sense of pomp. Like there's no need to pretend, right? There is a battle raging here, a struggle. There is something almost like prepare. And I wanted to say this later on in the reading, because there is a little bit of a warning in this reading in these cards right now, that it's almost like you're going through so much. You're going through so much pain. You're struggling so much right now to just get acclimated with not always having to be in pain, which feels like its own pain because it's just not something you're used to. But there is this presence of somebody. It's almost like the last thing you need right now is to feel like you have to fight. But at the same time, it's almost like feeling like you have to fight is making you not feel weak, because you're gearing up for a fight. You're gearing up. You're feeling very suspicious of somebody, maybe somebody in particular, feeling extremely like, I can feel it coming on. I know something's going to happen, or they're pulling away from me and I don't know, and they shouldn't be, and I'm going to have to go after them, or I'm going to have to, we're going to have a confrontation, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, that's actually you looking for a way out of your pain. That conflict, and I know you're not going to believe me, but I'm going to tell you because I'm going to be honest with you. That conflict right now is actually perceived. It is actually not as bad as all that. Even if this person is petty, I'm not denying that. How will it impact your life? Not much. Yeah, there is like a little snake in the grass here. This really is about desires. What do you desire? You're desiring a temptation now. You're being tempted. You're being tempted actually away from your happiness by the sweet smell of fighting somebody, going after somebody. You're being tempted away from heaven by a little bit of hell that snuck back in, that wants to ensnare you in its embrace again because it can't release itself from itself, and it doesn't want you to get out either. And that is the temptation. And that temptation is definitely, feels like it's coming through somebody who's sort of new to your life. They ride into your life. They come into your life. Could be a woman, could be a friend, right? The sense of somebody who is new and fresh and comes in, and it's like maybe they're just new and fresh and comes in. And they're just there to sort of offer a breath of fresh air, a little bit of happiness, but to sort of jump on them or think, because this could imply either real deception, actual, real deception, or a perceived deception because of stuff that you've heard or things that other people have been saying. Either way, I want you to know that this outside thing, this new one, is not the worst. The worst is what's been going on deep down inside emotionally. It has something to do with family matters. It has something to do with something that you are worried about or suffering from because of your family. Could have been the loss of a patriarch, could have been the loss of a family member, could have just been the loss of a sense of any kind of direction or leadership in your family. It's just a sense of something that shook you and made you feel unsafe and put you into a more defensive mode because you feel emotionally unstable right now. And I don't say that derogatorily. I say that sympathetically and also empathetically, knowing how weak and vulnerable it feels to be emotionally vulnerable, right? Yeah. But the biggest, most wonderful aspect of this reading is, Scorpios, you're safe. Let's come back around to where we started. You're safe. The answers you need are coming. And this is intellectual, so it has something to do on the Gemini full moon. So I don't know what happened on the Gemini full moon, but go back to the beginning of this month and see what was going on, because there was something that you needed to know, or that you were suspicious of, information that came into your life that is sort of sticking in your gut now, making you feel even worse about a circumstance than you have to, but it's not going to go away until you learn or find out what's going on. That information is going to come, and it's going to come and help you balance things out and get back to, or be able to see again, the beauty that is your life. Because it is a beautiful life. This could also specifically indicate or implicate, depending on what side it is for you, the relationship with a Gemini or some relationship with a Gemini. Maybe a cycle that you just started or ongoing, just this sense of back and forth and up and down. Maybe somebody that you feel is hiding things from you, deceiving you. It's the last thing you need to do right now to worry, because this is a big time for you. And as water signs, we unfortunately do get kind of lost in others, but this is actually a big sign for you. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know that there is something coming. You can feel something coming. You would not be a Scorpio if you couldn't feel it coming. You are a Scorpio. You can feel it coming, and it's like you're gearing up for the next bomb. And what I'm telling you is that fear is actually just the earth still quaking from the big bomb that hit not too long ago. And that the next bomb coming in, it may hit, but it's not something that can destroy you. What can destroy you is that still shaky ground that you stand on and not really being able to get yourself back together enough. And that's why you're acting in you're so afraid right now, as this new thing that you know is coming. But ultimately, this new thing that's coming, if you just confronted it and talked about it and loved yourself enough to know that you can honor your fears and say your fears out loud, and that confrontation is enough, like it will go away. Ultimately, like but that's not what's happening. What's happening is that clench. What's happening is that, just destroy or suspect, because of all that hurt that's still around. And don't you deserve to love yourself and help yourself not feel that pain anymore? So that's really where your focus still should be, 100%. So let's get into I know, the last thing, so this is truth. Truth transcends illusion. Something is, a truth, a reality is coming to you. And the underlying factor is disloyalty. I just heard every Scorpio watching this video simultaneously been like, now you got to it, Michelle. Now you got to it. Somebody really did fuck with us. Now I got to it. I got to read the cards as they come. You know what I'm saying? Somebody really did fuck with you. There was definitely a deceit. There was definitely somebody who betrayed your loyalty or loyalty to somebody that you gave a shit about. It is coming out. You are going to find out about it. And cannot escape it. Cannot escape it. Cannot escape it. For some of you, it may be, I just heard this, for some of you, it may be that the person that you think was disloyal, it might be somebody else, right? It might surprise you, which will actually cause greater conflict in you to be like, whoa, 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 that person fucked with me? You know, that kind of thing. That might happen. But I think for most of you, you already know. There is something on the horizon that you just can't trust. You know something's coming and you're gearing up. It has something to do with a woman. I don't know if it's a woman that's close to your family or that's trying to get into your family or coming into your life and coming into your face right now. And I do like to start off the reading with a more spiritual, general context because this site is about encouraging conversation and healing, not about being stuck in something. But also, you can't ignore something. You have to face it, right? So this is really that confirmation that you needed. Yeah, there is something absolutely. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. You're right about something. You are right about, you're probably right about a lot of things, but you're right about this person, especially if this is a woman who has kind of come in and sort of tried to usurp some kind of authority or kind of like take over in some way. That's how I'm getting the impression. But like I said, gender is you can swap out the genders here. Yes, it could be a man, but there's just something about it. A time for a deep dive. Okay, let's get into this. This is the Spirit Animals card. So this is Libra energy, which is up here as well. This is about romance. This is about love. This is about happy life, good life. Yeah, La Vie en Rose. That's my La Vie en Rose card. Connectivity, a romantic cycle, something beautiful coming in. Okay. Spirit has a plan, always did, leading you to this new kind of like closeness, either with the person that you're with or for a new romance, a new partner that's coming into your life. And it's almost like like God is intervening and steering you in that direction. Surrender now. You're just going to want to jump in. And this is also a timestamp, which signifies Sagittarius season. Okay, this is good stuff. You're going to want to just dive right into this new relationship that's coming into your life that feels really good and really balanced and really wholesome, open to infinite possibilities. You're shining beautifully right now. This is Aquarius energy. This is a star card. So I almost think like it's almost like in the middle of all this chaos, there's romance happening to you. And yes, there's always an extended. I will be able to articulate this more with tarot. That link is below. Please do join me for that because the romance specific reading is over there as well. Okay. I'm just going to keep going. Open to infinite possibilities. So this is something. Okay. Spirit has your back, so you are protected. You are being guided in this direction intentionally. And you've probably been receiving a lot of spiritual messages, or this is also Capricornian energy. We got a lot of different zodiac signs on. This is Capricornian energy. So it's almost like something coming in to bring you closer to somebody else, maybe a shared experience, shared distrust of something. Something like that. Okay, set healthy boundaries, which is blocking yourself from this emotional connection to somebody else, afraid, or they are emotionally blocked, kind of afraid to let down their guard. This is convoluted. That's about to change. Or it's this person that something has happened to, and I will say or feeling like you didn't get a chance to say what you needed to say. the things were still left unsaid or undone with somebody in particular. And that's really where that all this sadness is coming from, of something being incomplete. And as crazy as this all sounds, with 100 different things going on at the same time, somehow they all relate to each other. Let's get into these angel guide messages. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. Thank you so much, Scorpio, for your continued help with the channel and support of the channel. The views last week were exceptional. I'm so grateful to you. Your new videos come out every single Tuesday, so please do click subscribe, help the channel grow, and ring that bell so you get notified as soon as the new content comes up. If you want to subscribe directly to Vimeo, you can, because the content actually comes out about a day earlier over there. FYI. And last but not least, I usually do Monday through Friday a live reading over on Instagram. It's a general reading for anybody, but it's live, so we can interact if you'd like to join me over there. Let's get his angel messages. Heart song. Heart song. What is your heart saying? Stop and listen. Your truth lies within the empty spaces between your thoughts. Your truth shines through from within your soul. Your truth is that which is eternal and unchanging. Your truth is love. Adventure. Ooh, instead of seeing the current situation as an obstacle, try seeing it as an adventure. Explore all the possibilities. There are many more than you currently imagine. Instead of seeing things as either black or white, try to explore all the colors in between. Now let me stop right there, because I know that some of you are going through some heavy shit and you're like, adventure bitch? I don't think so. And it's like, so for you, definitely the tail end of that card is a more approachable understanding of what the card really means, which is you feel attacked and it's a horrible thing going on. And ultimately that is not escapable, but it is possible to see things in full color as opposed to just the extremes, for your own sake. For the sake of you not having to take so many emotional hits right now. A sense of realizing or delegating, okay, I can give this to somebody else, and I can let somebody else do this, because if I what you're going to do being a Scorpio is going to try to keep doing it all yourself, right? And what's that going to do? It's going to make the weight so heavy you implode. So ultimately being like, okay, I have a right to a buffer right now. And so let you take this job, or let you take this job. Oh, and this is what I just heard. That's the problem. Because somebody that you're trying to was supposed to just, delegate, you just, in other words, you were just delegating some tasks to, make things a little easier for yourself. They're trying to take over. And you don't like it. I hear you. I can hear you. Positive thinking. Positive thinking is vital in creating a healthy and abundant life. A positive attitude along with positive beliefs and thoughts are crucial ingredients for creating happiness. Don't worry, think love. Now this is really important energy. Why? Because it's not like, oh, but things are happy and she's being a complete and total disruptive bitch, but I can see the positives. It's not about seeing the positives in a person that's clearly overstepping their bounds. It's about seeing the positives in the life that you have, the love that you share with your spouse, if it's a loving relationship, the love you have for your children, that even though this treacherous person is in your life, focus on those things that are still going right. Because ultimately, that bitch right there, she's just one thing. She's not the big thing. And something tells me that somebody with this person's nature wants to be the big thing. So the more energy you give, she'll steal it from you. So keep her in her place, or him in his place. Keep this person in their place by not giving them that much time a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, not letting them steal your energy. Stay focused on your prize, which is the people that you care about and the people that you love. And you might want to call them out on their shit simply by stating, no, I have the gravity here. My life is beautiful here. And honestly, you're still over there by yourself, right? Sometimes you can point something out to somebody by not giving your energy to it. That's all I'm saying. Middle path. Embrace both sides. The middle path is the road to a balanced and more peaceful life. And that's what we want for you, because happiness. Let's go over to tarot and see what information needs to come out. I'll see you guys over there. The link is below. Thank you, Scorpio.